Okay, we'll go ahead and get right into it. On the agenda, any deletions from the agenda? I see there should be several additions and additions to the agenda. Mr. Supervisor Brooks?
Follow up on the cleanup that we had on last, not this day, 2 Saturdays ago, on the 24th, and also Delta Health Center, want to add it on as well.
Say it again, Supervisor, I didn't hear.
Cleanup from the 24th, just a follow-up review. Yeah, from the 24th, countywide cleanup. She's going to give an update on it. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now, Ms. Sampson? I wanted to talk about the cleanup on the 24th of April, and also want to add Delta Health Center to the agenda.
Add what now?
Delta Health Center.
Delta Center.
Delta Health Center. Health.
Delta Health Center. Where's the attorney? Anyone else?
He's here.
Yeah, but I got a question.
Mr. President, we need to add Cassie, from the Mississippi State Executive Services. She's like to request the use of the expo building for 4-H Club. We need to add Camille Collins.
And Ms. Camille Collins as well.
Yes.
Anyone else? I want to add an executive session for a personnel matter. And contract negotiations, both of those executive sessions.
The school's attorney was supposed to,
I don't see them, but they show up, let us know, we'll put them on at that time. Is that okay? You want, unless you just want to add them? Highlandsville School District. All right. Mr. Griffin, I have a question for you. We have a request for an addition to the agenda. It's Delta Health Center. Do we have a legal thing with?
Right, so, right, this is a regular meeting, we can open.
All right, it's on there. You said, go ahead.
We have a legal vote.
There's a request to add Delta Health Center.
Yes, sir, you can add.
All right. If there's
That's
nothing,
a regular meeting.
if there's nothing else, all in favor of the agenda, show by sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Did I get a motion, Ms. Ansel?
You did.
Second.
All right. Sorry about that. And the minutes. Any questions on the minutes? Any changes, deletions, or additions?
So moved to approve.
Item number 18, it was a sidebar. It only had one supervisor's conversation, but it included all supervisors.
Which one is number 8?
Number 18 is numbered. I made some cuts as well, and it was not included. So if you're on sidebar, a supervisor, all supervisors, conversation in the sidebar. Either you add all or just remove them, either or. Under 18, there's a sidebar there. It was more so to bring to the board what was said in the meeting, and it only reflected one supervisor. It didn't include all supervisors. It's almost like a bias in these minutes.
But we all do is wait for you minutes, take minutes, to make sure everything's included. And we have to be sure we will accept the number 18 at the next meeting. So the motion is going to be everything with this corrections for no. Is that good, Ms. Brooks?
Attorney Reed, is that legal to do that?
Is it legal to just add to it?
No, he said to approve all of the minutes except for number 18.
Yeah, you can do that.
I just want to know.
Right, but however, at some point, you gotta approve it. And
We'll review it on recording, make sure we get everything that's recorded, and we'll add number 18.
for the State Department of Health is fixing to transition from the drive-through vaccine sites. They're gonna go to indoor sites for the month of May and maybe the first 2 weeks of June. And then they're gonna transition back to the local health department, and that's where you can go to get a COVID vaccine. So I've got 2 MOUs. One is for the convention center, that there's just some new information that was added to the MOU, so we need to update that one that we have, for them to use the convention center and convention center grounds, for the vaccine sites to move indoors. The second one is, the same thing for the South Washington County Multiplex Center. We're gonna do a pop-up site down there. If the city of Greenville does not come up with a location, they were supposed to call me and they haven't. If they do not come up with a location, we will use the convention center for, the month of May and the first part of June. The South Washington County Complex will be a pop-up site. It'll run 1, maybe 2 days. And we're also working with, Metcalf and Leland, to do pop-up sites there.
What's the timeline on this transition? From the outdoor drive-through to the request that they're making indoors in the convention center, arena?
Starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, the attorney's gonna need to review those MOUs, the board's gonna need to decide how they wanna handle this. We've basically given up the convention center for the last few months to the health department to do the drive-through, which we do support, we do appreciate. But we gotta think, how we go forward. We do wanna make sure they have a place to provide the needed, vaccine, and for the space to do it, so we gotta be very, very careful of how we handle this. We do have another option if the city does not get board approval to do it. The city does not come up with one with inside the city limits. But we need to take a look at that real close and, decide on the next few days since they're transitioning to the inside. David, now what does that mean? You know we have a court in the main ring.
Yeah, they'll use the 2 meeting rooms on the north end of the building. They'll work through the back door, continue through the front door as they have been, and they'll run the vaccine site through the back door and the 2 meeting rooms.
Okay, so that doesn't disturb the court at all.
I have a concern. Aren't they using tents right now?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
Why are we changing that? Why would just not let it stay the way it is? Why is it on the inside?
We're not. This is directed by the Mississippi State Department of Health.
Oh, the Mississippi Department of Health wants to go inside.
Yes,
Did they give a reason why?
because the number of vaccines they're given per day have gone way, way down. The use of the National Guard is very, very limited. So it's time, during the course of the COVID, it's time to start downsizing and cutting back.
Mr. President, my only concern is we do have court in that facility, and I just wouldn't want to be in a situation where we kind of mix the, the court hearings with the jurors, if there is a case, coming along with the, COVID people. I just think we may need to identify another location versus trying to put the COVID people to come and get tested in the same location where we have, state court.
All right, we'll look at it very good, we'll make sure, courts will not be disturbed, period. We'll make it work.
But we need to identify a location. Do we
Right
have
now,
any
we're
other
talking about,
location?
right now, we're talking about 2 of the meeting rooms that you can petition off, to have access on the north side of the north door.
So how would they come in on the backside?
Yep. Let's talk today, David, and we'll make it happen some kind of way.
Okay?
Anything else?
That's all I have.
You will leave those for the attorney to review?
I am.
All right, let's review. Yes, I thought you raised your hand, I thought you. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's nothing else from David, appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all. Thank you.
Roseanne.
coming back.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning.
At one of our other meetings, we were talking about a trash control trailer. We received it and, we moved a few guys around and, we were coming in today to request from one employee to put on a trash control trailer for us.
That's the one that we just now,
Yeah.
did you ever get the trailer in?
We got that.
Now, this what you're requesting, that's one person
That's one person.
at, now, is that benefits and everything?
That's all the.
Okay, that's everything.
That's all the county will pay that employee, you know.
That's what I'm saying, that's insurance, okay, gotcha. All right.
I got a question. Is that one person going to be sufficient, you know?
On that truck and trailer.
Y'all gonna have more than one person on that though?
It's gonna be three.
Yeah, they just look for one more.
Okay,
car.
okay.
How many people on? How many people are y'all gonna have on?
Three.
Three people. Okay.
Three people,
Okay.
good deal.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions on the additions of position to, assistant sanitation?
I move that we hire another person at the recommendation of the road department road manager.
I got a motion.
Second.
All in favor, by sign of aye. Opposed?
When will that start? I'm sorry. When will that start? When will y'all have, when will you have out running?
Probably first of next week, Monday. We have to wait a certain amount of days on the wind job center.
And the reason I'm asking, we need to get that word out there because this should be big for them. I mean, this will be 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, nothing but picking up trash, taking to the, on the roads, because that's, just a huge problem that, and hopefully within a year, we can see a difference in that. So we need to make sure that word gets out,
We're gonna put some lights and trash control on the trailer and everything, get it all set up this
Well,
week.
with a combination of that and these dumpsters and the way we're doing trash now, maybe we can see a difference, but make sure you get that word out.
We never decided where those dumpsters were gonna go.
Well, I know where I want them in my district, I was just waiting, everybody,
I do too.
Yeah,
I
so,
do too, but
we need to.
we haven't put that in paper and we keep kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
So,
What we need to do is make sure the county administrator has the position.
yes, sir.
Time to move forward, to actually go ahead and, now, do we just order these containers or what is there discussion about it would be?
In the motion, in the minutes we just approved, we voted to bid it out.
This will have to, we have to go ahead and make sure we, get that figured out, so that puts some space together. That's what we're looking for.
Who's going to do that?
Somebody raising their hand.
See, we still playing with it.
Well, the last time we kind of talked about this, Roy checked into it for us, Roy Johnson, he had gotten some prices on some dumpsters and stuff. So I would say that Roy or Bond, one could check on that for us and see what that would cost us per container. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, are we going to designate that this week? Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Okay.
Also, Ms. Griffin, did you, draw for the action, about the mix? I just wanna bring the board members to the attention, it's kind of before my report with cleanup, but, one of the concerns when we did the cleanup, I saw a lot of trash, we did some litter sure that the garbage is not left on the side of the street. Now, I did talk to municipality in
Won't
Madison
the
County,
dumpsters take
and
care
I
of it?
kinda got this
Won't the
idea
dumpsters
from
take
them.
care of it?
And so I wanna hold Washington County to the standard of all the elitist areas across the state of Mississippi, because I have just that much respect for our county.
Yeah, I don't disagree with some of that, but I think how we need to maybe go about that, because some of the contractors, and like Mr. Griffin said, if it's, you gotta see what the price is, what the value of the job, if it's a big job. But some contractors have their own trailers that they dump and they carry off, you know, when they do it, their trailers. I think, like Tommy just said, some of the smaller stuff, hopefully these dumpsters that we're putting out, maybe they'll utilize those to get those out. But I think what we need to do is just let this go back to the planning department, let them review that, look at that, see if we need to upgrade that to some degree, put a price on, you know, if it's a $20,000 rehab job, like Mr. Griffin said, it may be a, you know, a $2,000 job they're doing, they're not gonna go get a can, they'll take it off somewhere else. But let them look at that and try to just come up with something on that we could address that. Because it is an issue, there's no doubt it's an issue. So but just to say, hey, if you get a permit, you know, you have to get a can, you know, I think that's the wrong way to go, because like I say, a lot of them had their own, a lot of these roofers, they back dump trucks up to the roof and they put all that in there and haul it off. A lot of carpenters, they have their, like we just bought, the trailer that we just bought, they put all their stuff on, they haul that off. So we gotta make sure that, like I say, just because you're coming to get a permit doesn't mean that you have to get a dumpster. You've got to have some means to do away with that. And I think that's where the planning department could come in to say, hey, and like you said, we do have somebody that can check on that. We don't give that many permits out a month that we can't check on that ride by and make sure if they've gotten a $20,000 job that they're doing, that we don't have somebody that can ride by and check that, you know, to make sure it's not being put out on the road. How many permits do you think you give out in a month?
Depends.
Average?
Average, sometimes 15 to 20.
Okay. So we've got, you know, somebody can ride by and look at that. And what would you say average cost of those jobs were?
That depends on the brand new house, do
Yeah.
repair on the
Okay.
addition or, repair on the house.
Because in the county also, you got, especially on new construction, you got a lot of people that burn some of their stuff on site. You got a lot of people that dispose of that. So my motion would be if we're to go back and review to the planning department, see what they could come up with to make sure that's being done.
A lot of that's gonna fall back on the owners because
Yeah.
a lot of the permits that are issued are owners doing their own contracting work.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah.
Second.
Mr. Gordon, can you amend a motion to, have an if we're not going to come up with a plan?
Yes, I mean, to come up with some type plan to make sure we're covering that. We want to address it, bring it back here to see what we could do, but just kind of get with Roy, just kind of sit down and see what we've got now and see what we can do to make sure that we're ensuring that they're taking care of their own, you know, trash and stuff while they're on that job. Okay?
So you'll include the inspector as well as the enforcement person?
That's right, yes.
I have a motion and a second, any questions? All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And that is,
One more thing, we have a very valuable piece of equipment that we use a lot at the road department, and the motor just went out in it. It's like a '94 model machine, and we've never had any problems, it's just the motor let us down. And, I got a quote on one, it's on state contract, but I was just gonna see, I looked, we can't find one to lease anywhere. If we order one and buy one, it's gonna take 3 months to get it, so, I was just gonna see, it's a reclaimer, the price of it is $557,000,
That's for a new reclaimer, okay, but the motor is gonna cost what?
40 to 50,000.
Okay, but now, is the reclaimer itself on state contract also?
Yeah, the reclaimer is on state contract.
Okay.
And how much you said that, Mr.
The
New?
new one's 557,000.
And then a used is what?
Well, just putting a motor in our old one, that'd be almost right around 50,000.
So what do y'all wanna do?
Well, I wouldn't put a new motor in an old machine like that, but I mean, that's a lot of money we're talking about.
So you wanna get a brand new, you wanna get
I would like to, if we can, yeah.
Did y'all ever get did we get the one from the city, or are they letting us use it right now?
well, we put the call in for the city to use their unit, they were going to check their road department, they have not, called us back.
can I say this? Would you, if you can get that, if we can get that and utilize it, and me and Tommy can get with Shalisa to see where we can come up with the money for that. Because I agree, we use that all summer long. We've got, and how old is that machine?
It's a 94 model.
Yeah. Okay.
So y'all don't have money y'all budget?
No, we not in that. That's what he gets big.
All right, let me do this for Mr. Attorney.
You mentioned, that $550+ in the state contract price. In that regard, before we proceed with state contract price, let me make certain, because I know there's some language in there that say you have to check with more than one. And,
Exceeds that.
state contract price when it exceeds $100,000. So let me check on that.
Everybody can hear your mic, don't speak to your mic, Jerry said he can't hear you. But, you know, talking about the finances, board session before, Ms. Carter, Randolph money is how much?
Maybe, I forgot what I told you.
Less than 300?
Yeah.
Less than 300,000. And, Amy,
3.8.
3.8 million.
Now, you, something this large, we have purchased outright, but most time we finance something like this anyway. Yeah, yeah, but we can look at that both ways, you know, on that, but we have paid for it and we have, you know, scored what kind of interest rate we can get on that.
We don't want to pay for it, we want to finance it ourselves, to pay ourselves back, even a little higher interest than if we get the land. So, yeah, we want to do that. But,
What do y'all do, like, if we go state contract, when will the equipment, they have some on site already, or they got to
It'll
build?
take 12 weeks to get.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna take 12 weeks to receive.
Okay, so Mr. Griffin, with state contract, it's a little different. If we go state contract, you can go state contract without purchasing, but if we didn't do state contract, we would have to do a reverse auction. Am I correct, Jaleesa? So I think we do need to go and move forward, because at the end of the day, we got 12 weeks ahead of us. So I think, I'd like to make a motion that we just go ahead and purchase and allow y'all to find the funding for it. That's my motion.
Second.
motion and a second. No other questions, all in favor, show a sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Where's the bridge crew at?
There is on Wilmot, finishing it up on Wilmot.
Finishing?
Finishing it up, they got to put some gravel down in the, cracks on track, so, they should be through by dinner time, then we got to close it back off for the inspector.
Speaking of the bridge, I understand that it is possible that someone is sabotaging bridges, or if somebody is not doing some things that they need. I understand some was on some list was offered with
I've given some thought to this also. You know, as of now, especially over the last 5 years, we've been real fortunate. We've replaced a lot of equipment. We do have some, especially on the bridge crew, that needs to be done. But I think also, this is the missing piece of the puzzle that has been for a while. Last year, we put about $9 million, if you go LSVP and the county funds, the last several years, in our bridges. We're basically doing that again this year. And we're looking at possibly, what, 8 million? And we still don't have actually the guidelines for those, but when we get those guidelines, if that right there is the missing piece, that every bridge in this county, right there, we can take care of, every one of them, that will do it. Now, it'll take several years to get them built, but with the money that we're putting in with the state money, and when this federal money comes in, as we speak, we've got about 39 bridges that's out. We're looking at, you know, just even this year, as far as capable of spending $18 million with this money, you know, along with our money too. So this is the missing piece of the puzzle that Washington County needs to finish this up. Now, I agree on the, you know, on the equipment too. I think that's something we probably can use a little bit there, but some of our county money for that. But I think this is it. I really do. And again, we may be, you know, several years, because when people start getting this money, of course, that you're right, they're going to be using our equipment, and they're also going to be contracting stuff out, and there's just so many contractors across to do that. So we definitely need to have a plan quickly to be able to do that. But I do think this is what we've been looking for quite some time.
And also, this is one thing, and actually what I'm really concerned, I'm looking at, and me and Mr. Benson talked about it, he brought it to my attention, it makes a lot of sense. And I also talked to the road department about having a second road crew. So the concern is tearing the road up is that's the hardest part running to. Laying the road is the easiest part. So I think we need to consider creating a second road crew where we can go and tear a lot of
for removing the span units. They removed the span units, then the contractor was coming in to pour the cap, and pouring the cap over the existing piles. Now, the existing piles are not lined up. So, the existing piles, it is what it is. It's something we inherited, so we fixed it. So, we have a new cap.
Who's supposed, was the contract supposed to?
No.
Okay.
So the contractor, he could have done it a different way, but it was so, the bridge is kind of, skewed just a little bit, just enough to throw the measurement off. So, the solution is to do 2 new piles at the end of it, which wasn't part of his scope, you know. It's something, you know, we discussed, it was like they'll fix the problem before we put the span. We already knew the road department was gonna put the span units on. So that way, that last span would have coverage. So, that's what the solution was.
So what do we need to do? What do we do? Does the board need to do anything?
No, we just scheduling.
Okay.
I think he was just updating you on, they've been working on, I was gonna put in my report, they've been working on, several bridges at the same time. It's been more like you said, the road department and the extra crew, you know. They only have, you know, 1 drag line and, you know, 2, 3 track hoes. So, they've really been moving. I was commending on that too.
The pylons that were there, they were the old pylons, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we left them there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did the contractor do?
You have 4 piles.
Right.
They were kind of skewed up. He did a cast in place cap.
Okay, all right, he done the cap, okay?
Yes.
On the old cap y'all took off, was it out of line also?
Oh, yeah, it was very much out of line.
Okay, so it was like the one that they put back?
No, it was, it was 2 feet. We made it wider, we made a 4-foot cap. Because what happened was, if you know how span units and piles, like this is what you call span unit.
Right.
Paper, use a sheet of paper, whatever. And you have the span sit on the pile.
Right.
It was barely on the cap. That's why the bridge was closed. I mean, it was on there about 2 inches.
Right.
Are you in reference to Wilmot?
No,
No.
we're talking that.
Okay.
It's the same, it was the same, issue on Wilmot, Mr. Benson. But it was barely on there about 2 inches, so to get that coverage as far as the, force, we had to widen it to about 4 feet, you know? But 4 foot, it was kind of, we had to use the existing pallets.
Okay. Would it have been better if we'd have drove those pylons before he set that cap though?
Probably still been off, because,
Well, now you gotta go under them though, now you gotta get up under them though, correct? You gotta
right,
get
but
up under them.
it's open now. We don't have the span units on.
Okay, it's not on, no, I know, but the cap's still there, sitting on top of the pylons, correct?
Right, but they have to be 3 feet away from the existing pallets anyway.
Okay.
So it's enough, it's open right now, it's only 4 feet, and you have to be 3 feet away from the existing
Existing
pallets.
pallets, okay.
Existing pallets anyway, so it's gonna have.
So you'll set another one and tie into that, cross into that other pylon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Road department, appreciate it. Mr. Anderson, it's on you.
Okay. Well, that's what I was gonna talk about. You can see the report. I would like to commend the road department. We've been working on some of these bridges. We've been installing covers. You know, I think our bridge plan is working as far as they're ordering the covers, the 10-foot covers and 8-foot covers, and that's allowing
things I'm concerned about, Lorenzo, and you may want me to just put them all out there, and then you just, we can discuss them then. The Wilmot Road Bridge, that's been inspected. And then we had to take some spans back off of it, correct? Or we called for inspection, or we were through with it, and then it had some spans, we had to take some spans. So that's a huge delay. Wood Sawmill Bridge, it still shows under design. I've asked, that was a year ago, I asked about that, or been asking about the Wood Sawmill Bridge. Kermit the Frog, that's been over a year ago when we discussed that. New South Marine, I can't believe he's still even in the building. It's been over a year ago, and we're still talking about advertising for him a roof when he has to sit in there and, his computers and everything else getting wet. I wouldn't blame him if he left on that. A lot of these things, it just seems like it's dragging out on that. And I got one question for you. When on these designs, do you design them here, or is that designed in Jackson?
Bridge designs or anything?
The bridge designs, do you design them here, or are they designed in Jackson?
Well, we're the lead design, so we need.
No, I'm talking, do you design them here in this office, or is all that had to come out of Jackson?
No, I'm saying we design them here. We're the lead designer. So we use the resource as far as we need some hydraulic calculations or something like that while we're working on, let's just say, span unit design. We'll have to, they submit it to us and then we review them. So everything's coming out our office.
It just seems like everything's just dragging the VFW project. I see you got it, you said the county crew's supposed to start on it. You got that, but that's been another thing that's been talked about over a year. And one thing I do not like, and I don't think it's a good idea, is I don't think, and Arthur may have a different look on it, I don't think it's good when we start mixing, either we need to contract this stuff out, or either we need to, the small jobs, our crews do it. If not, you contract the whole job out, just like we're on Napanee. So when you start involving our crew working with a contractor, who's responsible for this, who's responsible for that? I think we need to stick with either you contract it out or something that after y'all do the design, if it's a pipe that needs to be replaced that we can do, that's fine. But this is not going well, and we got to do something different.
I like to dress up.
Okay, I'm happy to go here first and hear concerns as well.
Okay, let's go back. So you brought up Kermit the Frog.
Let me do this real quick. But when you talk about performance issues, there has to be a closed session.
Okay, but
But you good. Y'all know
since it was brought up in open session.
Yeah, you good.
Okay, but the concern now, at the last board meeting, Mr. President told us that there was no design created. Actually, there was a design created, and it's going through a process, right now, as it's two entities trying to find funding for this. But it is a design, it was just brought to my attention, and I submitted it, last board meeting. So, more so, the Kermit Frog is not really falling on it, because all this is kind of coming to play shortly. It came up, but the other concern is that, we do have projects, and if we have to rebid, it doesn't fall back on the engineer that he may have to rebid because only one person bid it on, or nobody.
No, not this time.
No, I'm just saying, it doesn't fall back on, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Also, the other concern is, I think that if the road manager identify projects that they can do in our county, we most definitely want to work with them. Also, because if we got a valuable workforce here in Washington County, how do we not use our road department? And also, right now, we just hired a gentleman with $25,000 to come in and, teach them some things. And so we're gonna pay all this money to, come in for training. How do we not use them? That means that we're wasting county dollars. There will be times for certain things that the county can do and certain things the county needs to outsource. So I think that if the engineer and the road manager feel it's a good work, who are we? Because I don't believe in micromanaging either.
The Kermit the Frog thing, if you look back in the minutes, we approved that a year ago for them to go ahead with that on the Kermit the Frog thing. The bid to New South, it's been bidded, this will make the third time, and the last time, this time we didn't do, we had 3 bidders, but it wasn't electronically bidded, and that's why they had to do it. Regardless, and again, things are dragging, They have not dragged like this in the past, they're dragging, and that's my concerns.
In the past, in the past, we had bridges that was done for $800,000, and the county had to come back and redo the bridges all over 5 years later, and spending $900,000 on a bridge that was $800,000, when a bridge is supposed to last 20 years. So you are right, though, I guess everybody have pros and cons, but we're in a place where we're not in a situation where we're doing bridges at 890,000, and the county has to come back and do the bridge all the way over at 900,000. So, apples and oranges.
You're redoing two this month, Napanee and Wilmot.
Right there. Ms. Brooks is right, there is a project for a museum, but there's a project to actually completely remodel. We're talking basic upkeep at the museum.
Walkway.
On the wall,
Yeah.
the walkway, safety, perspective, that kind of thing. We're not talking about a project completely renovate and enhance and expand the museum. There is a project that we're basically concerned about the basic maintenance, that we need to be doing. And when Mr. Davis talks to you, he'll talk to you about where we are right now with that.
And I kind of, just about the, dragging on comment, a lot of these projects we inherited, we only been here, signed contract, March of last year. And our priority was we inherited 40 bridges that were out, so we knew that was the top priority. And as far as, Wilmot and Napanee, we're not redoing, it's going through the process. It's not redoing the bridge. This is where the process is to contact the state and have the state look at it. If you have a bridge and three contractors, three inspectors look at it, you're gonna have three different opinions. So we're going through the process. And as far as the New South Marine, this project was worked on 2-3 years ago. It's
Not the roof you're on now, not the roof you're on now.
It's the same leak, it was leaking then, it's still leaking now. I'm telling you what the owner and the contractor tell me, it's them looking at the project. But it's not something that, started when we was here. This was before we was here, we were working on those projects to move forward with it. But you're saying that we delayed it, but it was something that's inherited, we working moving forward to fix it, So as far as delays, I'm not gonna say, IMS, we're moving forward. And our priority, our bridges, we have a list of projects, we give an update every month, on BFW, we turned that in August of last year. We did our part, for BFW. And I did say for South Marine, if they turn the bid, I'll take that, as far as the law. I'm Midland, wrong. I should got with Chalissa. She knows the process as far as the bidding. So we're going through Chalissa process. We know now. We had a conversation with the attorney and Chalissa, so we're on the same page with that. And but we never did get to Warfield Park.
That roof there, this board here has never, we've never worked on that part of the roof as far as a large project replacing that roof. We've tried to patch it, but the roof you're talking, no, has not been a contractor, that's never been bidded out by this board. That's a 50-year-old roof that's up there now.
Anybody else, or Ms. Nancy got something else for us?
I want to update on Warfield Park. Me and Mr. Davis, we met with the contractor out of 24 sites. He has all 24 sites working as of Friday, so that's good. I think Mr. Davis has a plan, security plan too, so that was great. Working as far as, get somebody out there, posts and surveillance and everything.
just with that, my opinion again, there does not need to be a mix between the people contracting and then our bridge crew. It either needs to be, am I the only one that, I mean, I just, if they're gonna, I'm just saying, I think we run into problems when you got a contractor and our guys, where I think if it's something that needs to be contracted out, it needs to be contracted out. I just don't see that working, very well.
And I agree on some of the projects, like, I really, far as mixing, because if they're working at the same time, somebody leaves them.
I agree.
But on the napping.
Well, I know you're doing this right. I know you gotta finish this, but I'm just saying moving forward.
Well, where it comes into place is time and money. Like, I asked the contractor on napping, if you had to do this all by yourself, it was $25,000. And it was the time, far as we can get the road department out there faster, he said it was like $150,000. So I'm like, save $150,000, get the road department, they can do the same thing. Why pay them that much, and it'll be a faster project, and, we have supervision over the road.
Yeah, how long has Napping been closed down though?
Since, probably September.
I mean, y'all inherited that one too, didn't you? I mean, that was one y'all inherited that one also.
No, it was closed while we was here.
Okay.
Oh, it was inherited because it was a bridge that was replaced about 2-3 years ago.
The only thing I'm saying is when we've got so many bridges down and there's other small projects our crew could probably be working on, and I hate to say this, but no, I'm glad we can say this at this point, but Washington County is in a position right now, and not that we just got tons of money, but we've got the money to spend on these. I'd rather, let's get them fixed the fastest way we can. I'm just saying, moving forward, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Anything else, Mr. Chairman?
That's it, sir.
Thank you, Brenda.
All right.
Appreciate it. Now, with this after 10 o'clock, and, we should be following along, so just on the manager, I had some requests to, now, speaking meeting.
All right, listen, I'm gonna say this right here. We only meet twice a month, so if we need to be here at 2 o'clock, we're gonna do that.
No,
Take
no.
our business up.
No, we not. No, we not.
No, because my thing is, I just don't think we should never speed the meetings.
Now, planning department, come on, we can get it.
Not just figure speech.
All right, first thing I have on the agenda is a bore for the Experiment Station Road. Both the engineer and the road department has approved that.
So move to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, let's have a
What's the motion she made? I need my central seat. I'm sorry, say your motion again, ma'am.
On here, it's a use and occupancy permit. They want to bore and add wire up under the road at Experiment Station Road. It's Circle S Irrigation doing the work.
Thank you. I just didn't hear what you said.
That's fine.
All right, any other questions?
No.
All in favor, vote.
Aye.
Okay, another use and occupancy permit for Avondale Love Road. It's for ceasefire. They're putting in wire from Arcola all the way down to Avondale Love Road.
That's good.
And it's supposed to be approved for both of them.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other questions? If not, all in favor of the motion to approve, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next thing is our, April monthly, for y'all just to look over and see what everything, I think I had it each and every one of y'all's boxes. There you go.
I didn't get a chance to review mine, so
That's okay.
I reviewed it tonight.
You have any questions on the report? I need a motion to accept it.
So moved.
Second.
And second, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
And the only last thing I have
Motion carries.
is, 725 Barnes Landing Road. It's a property that's in very dilapidated state with a camper and a mobile home. I was asked for updates at this meeting. We sent out the letter, y'all all got a copy of it, y'all all got a copy of the pictures. I went out there personally this morning, looked again. Did you need me to do something?
No, he was talking.
Okay. And, it's in the same exact condition this morning as it's been being, even after the letter's been sent out. They might have weeded some, but that's about it. I did speak to the owner personally again this morning. I talked to him last weekend. I let him know the letter's coming and it had to be cleaned up. I spoke with him again this morning. He said that he's gonna be attending this morning, doing blood work. He does have a bad back.
property owner. Property owner will take action.
But the county can condemn the property.
Yeah, we going through the process, through the compliance office, you know, to make sure that the letters are sent properly and, we give notification. And we get to the point, we'll end up, we might have to clean it off. What they're only trying to do is not be assessed those charges. And without a complaint or affidavit, we can't go out and do trespassing. I don't know, that's up to the attorney.
How long have the people been out here?
We've had a problem in that area for a while, we just got the north side cleared off, with the same situation. And now this is developing, and like she was telling you, we don't even think they have permission to have power. Energy was contacted to go out and inspect and see what they were doing, make sure whatever they had was legal, they shut them off for a while, and now we go back there with another line.
My only concern, Mr. President, is that the owner knew that these people were here, and
He's run them off before.
I understand that, but it's still his property, and if we go through the process of condemnation, he will have to assess those fees for the simple fact, this is his property, not the county's.
Anyone else? Any questions or comments?
Unless he donated to the county.
No question, come on.
No questions or comments? Okay, we do have an interest in, if he's willing to donate, we can let you know. We'll have a conversation. Because if there's a purchase involved, there's appraisals and everything else, it's a long drawn out process, so we just can't, you know, unless it's a minimal amount of money.
I will. Is there anything else that y'all need from me?
No. Thank you, Donna.
Justice Court.
Got your report.
Everybody have the, report from Justice Court?
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Brooks. If there are any questions on the Justice Court report,
None.
Ms. Brooks, anything you want to share with us?
No, sir, not at this time.
Let me do this. You know, we had talked about a secondary courtroom in Opportunity Florida.
Yes, sir.
It's time for us to have that conversation now. As of 8 a.m. this morning, the Department of Public Safety has reopened the driver's renewal and training station out west of town.
Okay.
So that's open. So, we're gonna have to decide as a board what we do with the, depot building. The question I wanna ask of you, Ms. Brooks, if you were to have a secondary courtroom, what does that do for your caseload, your docket?
It's not a big problem. I ordered some, roll carts that I could carry over there.
Would that help you reduce the
Yes.
load of your docket?
Yes, it would.
And how many hours a week would you be able to work, more hours a week versus what you do now? We don't wanna shut one down, we wanna give an opportunity to open both,
Right.
and if you can do that.
Well, right now, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours that we hold for it. So it would extend the time.
So you do an hour or two, well, you have in multiple places. But what I do wanna ask your question of board about, you had an additional request this morning from the DHS Department of Health about, a place to go and continue to administer the vaccines. That's an option as well, that was the second option I was thinking, so we have to figure out what we wanna do. And, be prepared to move forward pretty quick.
Is that depot building, ready?
If it's not, it's so close where it's, it will be.
Okay.
Which building is that, Mr.
Depot.
Depot building.
Now, it'll be for what?
Nothing right now, but potentially, the court, court.
We've always talked about it on a second courtroom. If you were to see the pretty sheet you have, most of you probably have seen the second courtroom, the number 2 courtroom that's in Justice Court right now.
I met with Judge Carter and Judge Simpson there. They both said it wouldn't work. That's what they told me.
Oh, this building will work.
That's what they told
Not
me.
as permanent, but we have.
Just temporary.
As a secondary courtroom, in order to help reduce the load on the docket, right?
Right.
Since we're still got COVID restrictions, and we'll discuss those things, but it's a thought, it's a thing that we need to think about, and be ready to move on pretty quick. Reminding everybody that the Department of Health, with the vaccine, the vaccinations, requested additional space.
Well, I mean, if we're not gonna do anything with it in the near future, why don't we go ahead and move on? If it would help you just temporarily, let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah, that was the secondary plan,
Okay.
all the time, you know, now that
Well,
the Department
let's go ahead and do it temporary. I mean, if it'll help
They
them.
want to listen to the judges and get their insight before we make a decision.
how soon can you talk to them? Move forward. Okay.
How we transition. And of course, there'll be a cost associated with furniture and stuff like that.
Okay.
That will take place. Anything else, Mr. Brooks?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bills? Everybody has Mr. Bills' report.
Yep,
Business affairs.
yep,
Any questions on Mr. Bills' report?
no,
Mr. Bills, anything you need from us?
Good morning. I put a Senate bill 2165 in each, everyone box, explain to you. I can address it right now. Senate came up with a bill on VSOs for each one of these counties in the state of Mississippi. People out here telling folks what they shouldn't be doing, so somebody came up with this bill. Only somebody can do it is a person that's accredited or certified by the state of Mississippi. And the board of supervisors hire us as people that should be telling people out in the community what's going on. They're gonna send you a piece of paper certifying that how many hours I work, what my credentials is, and what I training I've been through. When I first started working here, I started going to the training before they came up with this. So I got paperwork right now. I gave Ms. Carter. I also did some additional training. They don't have too many people in the state of Mississippi that's doing as a VSO that's certified. So this bill right here, it's gonna take away from everybody out here explaining to veterans how to do claims and who they should be coming
When you
to.
say VSO, what does that mean?
Veteran Service Officer.
Service officer, okay.
Each county, that county hired me for, take care of veterans. A lot of people out there they going to. Now, you go to a person's house if you want to, he can tell you what to do. But it's gonna get into the legal part if something go wrong. So that's why I come to county, I have to meet. So this bill right here, that's gonna straighten it out.
So we in support of the bill, or you act or you?
This bill came out to tell each county, they hire a person and they give them space, what they should be doing for veterans. If I don't do what's right, and I'm not certified or accredited, I can't be telling people what to do. They put a restriction on it.
so it's to protect you.
It protects me and it's gonna protect you.
So you're certified? We're
I'm-
good,
I'm
we're
certi-
good in Washington County.
Yes, I'm good, because
All right,
when I
but
first got
Ms.
this.
Gibbs is telling me there are other entities who may provide information as well, who may not have the certification that you are. Once we get this, Ms. Carter, you have a copy of this Senate bill.
Yes.
You can make your attorney review that and advise us.
Well,
Okay, the attorney must review it and advise us.
it sounds like the public needs to be aware of this as well, so that they won't get the wrong information from the wrong source.
Veterans need to be aware, but keep in mind, this restricts communication and education or teaching of veterans, depending on what this House bill says.
Okay,
Anybody can tell a person what to do.
Y'all hold tight.
Anybody can tell a veteran what to do.
yes,
Anybody can tell a veteran what to do. But you get into a legal point on you explaining to them what you put on a claim and send it in to the VA. The VA gonna cut down on people out here. You go down to McDonald's, you can go over to Wendy's, you can sit there, you talk about veteran stuff, you can go to his house. But once you start doing paperwork should be done by this office here because you as one, y'all as board, y'all hired me, y'all certified me, y'all send me to training.
but we,
Go on, Bishop Benson.
no ma'am, go ahead.
And I just got a concern, like, I know there's another agency out here, I think it's the Coast.
Gulf Coast veterans.
So are you saying they're not supposed to assist people?
You could assist anybody you want to. If you're not certified or accredited, you shouldn't be doing claims. The attorney can tell you that.
let me take a look at it, and then, I'll report back to the board. Okay?
I'm very good on how I just got, he can tell you, but I'm good on it. I've been trying to tell people the last couple of years now. The board hired me to do this in Washington County. You can go out and do anything else you want to, but when it comes down to doing claims, I'm certified and I'm accredited, and y'all send me to school to do this.
But
Morning.
Morning. Let's go.
Anything you want to share with us, Mr. Davis?
Yes, yes, sir. I have, well, I have two estimates that I need to, get your approval. Two quotes. A quote for, when I was here last meeting, Mr. Gales had asked me to, give the quotes for a, flagpole.
Right.
With that Granite building. The first item on the agenda is what I have. I have three quotes for that. And I need,
How did you get those quotes? Mr. Chairman?
They're
How
gonna
did you
be,
get those quotes?
they're gonna be under the price range
I requested them from
for the
bid.
flagpole.
How much?
The lowest, $1,254.99.
1,200?
1,200.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just needs approval.
Or 12,000.
$1,254.99.
Where did the quote come from?
Yeah,
Which,
who did the quote come from?
Carrot Top Industries, Dawkins, and Workray Solutions, which is Fairfield.
All right, so those are fully installed and just as the purchase.
That's just purchase.
All right. Who's going to install?
Can we discuss that? Do we have to discuss that?
Huh?
Who's gonna install them?
Who will install it once you purchase it?
I don't have quotes for that.
All right, you need to get, it's critical, you're in a real sensitive area around those power lines. It's gonna take a professional to put this pole.
Okay,
So we need the total cost of the project, period.
okay.
Mr. President, is this something you and him can discuss, or do we need to discuss this in open meeting?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm come back, we're gonna come back next week. No, I can't,
I mean, it ain't even ready for us yet.
no, no.
Then,
He just wants to purchase the pole, no, we can't purchase the pole unless we know what's gonna cost to install, we need the full scope, full cost of the project.
Okay.
And we can't do it because it's so close to our, that you have to know it is done,
I have a question, sir.
I can go back and get
there
those.
we go.
please.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
so the people that you got the quotes for the poles, do they do installation also?
One of them included installation. One of my quoters included installation on their quote.
Yeah, we don't need that.
So I need to get the other two to give me installation.
Well, then, he quoted back since it's such a low number, it's gonna be good, but, get that for us, please, we'll be ready to move.
That it?
I have one, I have a quote to repair a canopy at countywide shop of the fire department. And, I have two quotes for that. And they are, from ISI Industrial Services and, Milco Construction.
No,
Okay?
What this quote is for?
we gonna find out, you give us a number.
These are above $5,000.
That's fine.
Okay.
What's the number?
Would you like the lowest and best, or?
No, we want both numbers.
Okay.
We wanna know exactly what they're gonna do.
Okay, for industrial services, it's $6,875.
Now, what are we gonna get once we're finished?
You're gonna remove, what are we gonna get for this?
Yes.
We're gonna remove and dispose of existing roof and angle iron, and for equipment, labor, and materials to replace the damaged roof and angle iron with a 40 by 16 sheet and purlin.
Give us some dimensions.
Call.
What's that?
What was your other quote?
The other quote is, Milco Construction. Theirs is $7,800.
Make a motion, we go with the lowest bid on that.
Second.
All right, I got a motion for the lowest and best. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
The company that wanted to bid, where are they from?
Greenville.
Okay.
Warfield?
Warfield Point.
You want to know what are we going to go to the next phase, or do we want, because we have 31 of the 64 open now. Do we want to go and do the other 31, or how do you?
So the other ones are not operational at all, the other 31 sites
No, they
are?
have a different transformer, they have different circuit and everything, so.
Okay.
I think we wanna go ahead and move forward and get them all up and operating. Let me say this to y'all, so we can understand when we really have a dab in the rug. We have people coming outside of the state of Mississippi to come and R&B at our Warfield Park, and I think we really need to put some money into that park to bring it up to the level it should be, because that is a real, tourism place for Washington County, and I don't think we should ever take that lightly.
Make a I'm sorry. Well, that's what I'm saying, make a motion to engineer to move forward on, a
Second.
design,
Got a motion and a second. How much?
yeah.
It's gonna be around the 25,000-30,000. So I'm gonna give the attorney, make sure that, as far as the posts and everything, because, I know you're one,
It's under $50,000, so you receive 2 quotes,
two posts.
I have a question.
as long as it's under $50,000.
But we have a contractor out there now, but we still have to receive 2 posts, right?
I have a point of information
Yes,
going back.
Alright.
So we've done work with them already. How come we just can't move forward and continue
Yeah,
with
the
the
project.
company we already have? We already done it
I would
already.
think that'd be a different project though, wouldn't it?
That was the whole project was 50.
Right, that was my question.
What is it?
From one contract,
Well,
One side.
let's go back. So we've started the project with them, okay? And we decided we were going to expand and do some more. Right now, doing more would just be quotes. We can,
well, here's the problem with the change order. Change orders should not exceed 10% of the written contract.
so we need to just quote it out again. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Colonel, we still collect 1 meal for walking around. 1 meal.
I'm trying not to talk as much, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, we're just gonna need to kind of figure out what that means
Okay.
going forward. There was a debt for Warfield, that's paid.
Right.
This vote decided to continue with 1 meal for renovations.
Mr. Gordon,
So,
can you amend your
that's what we
motion
are.
to
But
accept quotes to
question
do
comes
so
about
that
money, we are still collecting a meal for Warfield, that's what I'm going with.
And the original deal was, pay off the debt in the United States. Then what you have to do is, you can do it, but you won't. During the budget time, you have to specify what that 1 meal is.
Yeah, I think we did that, yeah, last, yeah.
I think we need to do it now.
Just, if we don't have to get 2 quotes on it, so I'll amend my motion that go ahead for the engineers to get 2 quotes on the remaining
Second.
spots.
I got a motion and a second to go ahead with the phase 2. That's all in favor of it.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay,
Anything else?
that's all I have.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's get to the issues. Did I miss anybody?
Good.
All right. Item down, Billy Redwine request use of Warfield Point Park, Mr. Wade Redwine. And Billy Redwine is our camp host, is that right, Billy?
Yes, sir.
And camp host is the person who will be out there after hours and everything, kind of keeping an eye on what we've got going on. His request is use of Warfield Point Park.
Yes, sir.
And the date?
August 21st, provided that the park will be feasible for use, which our event is a car show, which this will be our 5th year to hold the Rolling on the River Car Show. We are a nonprofit. We are licensed through the state of Mississippi to hold the event. And we here to ask the board to waive all the fees for the day of the event
got a motion to grant permission with fees waived. And I got a second, Ms. Brooks.
I'm asked, can you amend that motion to allow the social distance at this event as well?
Wait, hold on, Ms. Redwine.
Nah, you can't.
It's an outside event, we're gonna
It's
discuss our
outside.
guidelines, and
Meaning
by
we can
August,
social distance.
we probably won't, hopefully we won't even have that
Yeah,
by August. But we're gonna discuss the guidelines today, but whatever the guidelines are at that time, of course, they'll have to comply. Right, Mr. Redwine?
Yes, sir.
No.
That needs to go into the motion, whatever the guidelines are, that needs to go into the motion as well.
Right. And now, Mr. Redwine, there is an insurance fee involved. You didn't ask for a waiver on that, and I don't think we normally waive that.
No,
You can't waive.
we in the past years, we held our event at the Warfield Point Park, and we do show proof of insurance for the event. And we've had the insurance every time we hold that event, we do pay for the insurance, and we do provide, the certificate to the county.
Any other questions?
no.
Ms. Redwine, how long have y'all been hosting this event?
This will be our 5th year. Last year, we did not host it, because of the coronavirus had everything kind of out of whack, like it's had everything out of whack. But we still had funds available that the state sent us, that we were able to still generate that money back to some terminally ill children for financial expenses.
If there are no other questions?
Point, I'm still talking. This is my first time hearing about the event, and I'm gonna try to come August 21st.
Thank you very much.
If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Redwine, if you need anything else, let us know. And thanks, Mr. Redwine volunteers to be our camp host.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Pinkins?
Yes, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I met with y'all last November, I believe, and y'all voted in favor of me implementing a Justice Court Navigator program here at the Justice Court, and it's gone really well over the last 6 months. Phase 1 of the program, where in the 6 different counties that I've implemented the program in, I've sat in on over 300 Justice Court cases, many of them here in Washington County. And just a few statistics before I get to the question here on this document. About 99%, which is not surprising, of the defendants that are being drawn into justice court are Black, poor people in underserved communities. About 70% of those people are Black women. The plaintiffs that are drawing them into court, I would say most of them have lawyers with them. About 99% of those Black people, those that are being pulled in as defendants, do not have lawyers representing them. Therefore, they're losing their cases. So these statistics I've gathered over the last few months. Phase 2 of the program is to be implemented to address that issue, people not having representation. And it was supposed to take place in March. And it did in the other 5 counties that I work in. Unfortunately, here in Washington, we weren't able to implement phase 2 of the program. In other counties, people have started to receive the information that they need, where they meet with me in person in a space designated by the Board of Supervisors. And some people have actually started to win their cases. Some of these Black women that are being
I thought we had approved that back then, that
did
space,
too.
to be honest with you.
I think you
All right.
did approve
Okay,
it.
so I just said that get with your Lisa and find some space.
Well, let me do this. There is a space, if you all allow myself and Ms. Brooks to have a conversation. There is a space that would accommodate exactly what he described.
All right.
And the only thing that I think would be beneficial to community members is if that space was either close to or within the justice court area, because we see
Got
members,
it.
community members, before they go into justice court to give them non-legal advice at the moment, but once I take and pass the bar exam in July, they'll start to receive actual legal advice, and that's the third phase of the program, where in that same space, those community members will get me as a free lawyer, where they don't have to pay for someone to stand beside them and represent them against these credit card companies, these car dealerships, these landlords that are taking their money.
I like to make a motion that President McGee and Justice Clerk Brooks identify space
Yeah,
for
it-
this organization.
I don't think it'll take most, but let me, if I can do this real quick. Ms. Brooks, what about the secondary courtroom? We gonna clear that out. Let's clear that out and put him in there, okay? All right. We got your space.
Okay, so I should give Ms. Brooks.
She'll show it to you today.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much. I
Now,
really appreciate
but
your
we
time.
gotta kinda clean it up, straighten it up, and change format in it. Put your desk in and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We'll
thank
get you
you so
straightened
much.
out.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Pinkins. Mr. Mason, Pastor Mason, Henry Mason, Reverend Mason. It's on you, sir.
Yeah, we'll get together somewhere. Like I say, good morning to President McGee, Board of Supervisors. My name is Henry Mason, local business pastor here in Greenville, Mississippi. Also, the core founder of the Mississippi Delta Black Farmers Co-op. And we're here today just to let you know a little bit about our co-op, and we're giving a Juneteenth festival here in Greenville. And I just want to read a little bit of information concerning who we are, what we're doing, all right?
Right.
All right, the Mississippi Delta Black Farmers Co-op, we organize an event to engage local communities in active commerce with local farmers and entrepreneurs. Our organization mission, educating our community how to grow and preserve their own food, to improve soil and crop health, to engage in the youth activities and programs that foster cooperatives, community farming, and money management. 3 years collaborating with urban farmers to increase quality and quantity of nutrient rice, wholesome and neutral food for the Delta, you know what I'm saying, for food desert. And furthermore, the farmers are the backbone of America. Without the agricultural farmer, our nation would be starving, our economy would be struggling. That's why the Mississippi Delta Black Farmers Co-op are hosting our first Juneteenth Farmers Festival. The Juneteenth Farmers Festival are created by a network of local farmers, community leaders, and community activists who have dedicated their lives to work in a multi-factor effort to improving the Mississippi Delta. Just a little bit about our organization, what we stand for. Stands for Lisa.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna ask, I see that y'all are putting on a Juneteenth event, and you're basically asking for a sponsorship.
In the amount of,
Mr. Griffin?
Well, as far as for municipalities, we're trying to request $1,500. The literature that you have before you now is just a template for what we've been requesting from corporate sponsors. So if you got it, we like it.
I'd like to make a motion that we donate $1,500 to the,
I don't know if you make donations out there.
to a nonprofit.
You can't.
No, the board cannot make donations even to non-profits unless it's spelled out in some law and acted by the legislature. Okay, and, you know, certain requests go
got a lot of them we give out, you're right,
Those
Wisco.
are authorized by, certain legislation and act, okay? Unless it's authorized by legislative, by statute, cannot be. Okay?
All right, how are we able to give money to Camp Looking Glass?
What money we give them?
Yeah.
And also, it's another
They're
nonprofit
allocated,
we give money
yep.
to. So did the state approve that?
I'm assuming so. And I can't answer that.
No, sir. It didn't. They got on, what's that, we do it, our budget in budget? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I guess the concern is,
Even with respect to being budget, you still have to have some legislative authority.
Okay,
how much we
okay.
Like 35.
I got a question, I'm a little taken aback, so you mean to tell me that the state of Mississippi approved for us to give Camp Looking Gas, how much? $25,000 a year?
If it's authorized by statute, it's still discretionary for the county whether you do it or not. But in order for them to receive the donation, it has to be some statute authorized.
Okay, what statute do we use to authorize to give Camp Looking Glass $25,000?
Ms. Brooks, this is the first time I've heard of it,
We approved it in our budget, and
I would look at it and tell you what statute it is, but I'm sure it has to be a local and private, or it either has to be by general law or local and private legislation to enable you to do it. It has to be enabling legislation for you to do something.
okay, there's also another nonprofit we give money to. Okay.
That's mentioned, what we normally do is, I'm looking through here, and when there's something, an event that supports tourism in Washington County, we support those type things. An event that brings people from out of town that will come and visit our city on June 19th is something that we can support, and we have supported in the past, but I'm looking
So, all right, I'm looking at our house.
our house is
Say
going
that
through the process.
tourism
What we just did,
to our city.
it's gonna work out.
So what
Right, that's it.
Mr. McGee, so what do we need to do?
We're gonna just let this go right now, maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't.
Who?
Let me say, can I?
I'm a little lost.
We've got time to find this out. Can you find out what we can? You got a little time. We can let the attorney look at it and see what we can do. It ain't like you need it next week or anything, Maybe by the next meeting, y'all, you do need it next week. Well, maybe by the next meeting.
Explain something else to you, Ms. Brooks, and members of the board. A lot of these requests from the county, okay, will go through the vendors and visitors bureau.
Right.
All right, that money that you donate to them, you make the request to them on the basis that this is tourism, and they can make the donation. Why it didn't come directly from the county, indirectly
from
answer
different
that question.
levels.
I need to get an answer to that. And I know you can't answer today, but I will follow back up, next week to get an answer.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Thank you. Stacy, you all good?
No, we need to know, we clarity on what we need to do. When we come out this board, the next meeting,
Have you know,
have
have
clarity.
applied to, main bills,
Why we can't
Washington
do
County Business Bureau, and Business Bureau, yeah.
No, this is our first, stop here on the council.
Here with Mr. McGee, he'll take care of that.
I'm chairman of the Board of Tourism. We would like you to come and meet with us, and I will be glad to try to work with you on that.
There it is. Boom.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Thank you very much.
I have one more request for you guys, so we have a survey.
Not another request. Okay.
It's just paper, it's just paper. You can complete it by the time the meeting is over, but it's more just feedback for us, and we'll know what to do for future events.
I didn't understand.
So I have a survey, we have a survey that we like you guys to complete, it's more just feedback for future events that we'll have, so we'll know which direction to go.
Okay.
Can I pass it out?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Thank you. Now we're done.
Now you're done. Y'all can look at money. Don't y'all worry about it. Okay? Okay.
All right. We got Mr. Kessler. How you doing? Now, Mr. Griffin, we're about to review the,
Charlize, I can't write. So would you fill that out for me? Just answer it the best way you can.
it has to be executive session. Okay. Mr. Kessler, we're gonna have to add you to executive session. Give us a few more minutes and we'll run through this and, we'll take you to executive session and, have a conversation. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, give us a minute, please.
Thank you.
Are you ready for me?
Yeah.
Good morning. I sent in, a letter. I know I wasn't here the last time and you preferred that I be here in person. I am here, my, assistant Marvin Sanders is, of course, practicing in the office part-time. He has basically requested that I come before you and ask for, a raise in his pay if you are so inclined. I am not asking for a specific dollar amount, I would leave that to your discretion. But I believe he's at 47 at this point, and he feels that it should be higher. He handles one of the 4 judges' dockets, and he also handles preliminary hearings, which are at maximum twice a week.
I guess I would like to wait for Attorney Griffin to get here, so we can get advice.
Okay.
I heard him say, he thought he needs more money. What do you think?
Well, it's not that I think that he doesn't, and I've gotten more money for, the other people who work in my office. I think, I do think his salary is low, honestly, as is mine a little bit. If you're gonna start comparing us with the DA's office and other, similar positions, but I'm not here asking for money for me, I'm here asking for him, so.
So listen, do you have,
What did we put in the budget for that?
Well, can I say this? You know, we're so close to budget time now, it's something that we possibly could look at in budget time, and we're so close to that, so that would be my idea for that, because we start that next month in our budget, so I would say we need to hold that to budget session.
Hello? How are you?
you good?
Okay,
Come
good.
on, Ms. Carter, you
What's
gotta
up?
say something. What we're gonna have some numbers.
Okay.
Ms. Carter, if there were increases.
Okay, let me call you right back. I'm in a meeting. And I'll call you back. I'll call you back. I'll call
They
you
were
back.
like
I'll call you
13,000
back.
apiece
Okay.
for each employee. They took his salary
That's right, yeah.
And, divided, they paid him a portion, which was, I don't know, however much it was. And then the rest of it, they took it and divided it amongst the rest of the employees, which equaled to like $13,000.
How did we come about that?
The board approved.
Yeah, I know that, I mean, but why did we do it? You talking about we took his salary?
He's
'Cause that was
part-time.
vacant at that time.
Yeah, he's part-time. They had a full-time.
Salary,
assistant,
that's right,
yeah.
yes. Okay,
And
now I
he
remember.
became part-time and got paid a certain, amount, and the rest of it, she asked for approval to split it
Split,
amongst
right,
the
gotcha.
rest of her employees, and that's what was voted upon.
Yeah.
Right, so there's already been an increase.
Yes.
Not in his, not in his. We took,
How was this individual at that?
Well, he's part-time public defender. He's the assistant, part-time.
He's still working.
Yes.
but it was a full position.
Yeah, it was agreed upon then, but now, I guess he feels like he deserves an increase, so.
Attorney Griffin, can you please advise us on this?
Yeah, got that. The decision was made to eliminate a full-time position
That's exactly
and
right.
split the fees, the money up.
That's right.
This individual is one of the recipients of this split.
No, his salary is the salary that was split.
Yes.
Well, let me explain to you what happened. Let me explain to you what happened. Ms. Rogers came in here and reported to the board that she did not need an assistant. All right, and requested that part of the salary be used to increase the salary of employees of ours.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Later, subsequent to that, Ms. Rogers came in and requested
A
that the
position.
board allowed to employ an assistant, a part-time assistant, to work justice court only. The board then voted to approve the part-time position for justice court only. Subsequent to even that, we learned that there were some issues
Make a motion.
My biggest concern
Lee,
is that,
make a motion.
my biggest concern is if we don't hire anyone and we give them a extra load, we clearly they need to be compensated. That's all I'm saying.
Make a motion, we table it till, we go into budget session, and take a look at it then. That's which is next month.
I got a motion to table the budget session. I need a second, otherwise.
Second.
I got a second.
Point of information. So we're saying we're gonna have this man to do this extra work for free until we go into,
No, we,
I mean, we can't do that.
He been doing.
Is there a job description that clearly defines his previous role and his current role?
I can get you that.
Please.
Sure.
So they can see what he was
Yes, sir.
and what he is currently doing.
Sure.
And, we'll have a conversation and we'll do some comparisons so we can add value to the additional responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Turner?
Well, the concern is, right now, for the next, and this is maybe early May, June, July, August, and even September, we're talking about 4 months that this young man will be asked to perform, these job duties that, the bottom line is they're not being performed by the public health department. I just want to lay it out there. They're not being performed by, before Judge McCray, by the public defender's office. It is not fair to him, and it's not fair to the county, nor the court, okay? That he performed these duties without compensation.
that position was supposed to be vacant at one time, that it needed. When it brought back on, we brought him on as, at a salary that they discussed beforehand, before he ever started, I'm assuming, that salary was discussed. So, I'm just saying,
I agree
jumping in the
with Lee.
middle of it, I
I
think
agree
that
with Lee.
the fairness to the county, it needs to be discussed in budget. You got a motion?
And no, I understand what you're saying, but at the same token, now we know, this board knows that we got somebody working and not getting paid for his services. So my concern, now that we know, do we tell him to work another 4 months and not get paid those services? Attorney Griffin just laid it out to us, that this man is actually working for the county at this point for free. I can't go along tabling until we decide to make a decision for the next 4 months. That is a form of slavery. Anytime somebody's working for free and not getting paid, that is an injustice.
I'm just concerned, how did we go from not needing anybody, now we need to pay somebody even more than four, hold on, I got the floor, I've got the floor now.
Okay, but
Well, how did you go from having, we didn't need this position, now we're at 47,000, now it needs more? I'm saying that though the workload he had, maybe it can be cut back, I don't know, but at some point, when any of us come on this job, or anybody as far as that goes, you accept a job for a certain amount of money. Just because your workload may go up, that don't mean, I mean, you agreed to come in there. I'm just saying, in the middle of a budget session, we've got too much going on to add additional, cost on it, and we can start doing that in June and talking about it, because
I got to say, if he asked me a question, I have to answer. But he asked, no, he asked me a question, I have to answer. Okay, but I still need to answer the question. My concern is, sir, can I think he asked me a question, so you gonna allow him to ask me a question and I can't answer?
Hey, man, who the president? Who the president of this board? All right, well, act like the president.
I was elected by the people now.
As rare as it may be, I agree, we don't do uncompensated labor. As soon as we can get these job descriptions, they clearly define the contributions of this individual, who will add value to those additional responsibilities. And we'll have a conversation then,
I have a question.
and maybe we can make the appropriate decision to award the initial compensation.
Now, since it's been brought to the board, and we know this man is
My motion is to table it till we go through budget session. And you got a second?
Now call for the question.
Call for the question.
All in favor of the motion to table until budget session, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
That's 3-2.
Nay.
Nay.
That's silly, because I don't
Thank
believe in slavery.
That's 3-2.
All right,
Yeah, that's it, 3-2.
Thank you.
thank you.
That's not called off. People working for free. Not getting paid.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to come back and present a regular quarterly update on status.
Excuse me. Mr. President, can we have Mr. Christensen wait until we can do executive session? Because there is a matter for executive session, and this is no less important, but we need to go in executive session.
Now, part of his report is basically the financial report from the hospital. You can't do that.
Yeah, I know. He can do that open, but hold up. Yes, sir.
Hang out
Yes,
afterwards.
yes, sir. You can go ahead and give that
Give that,
report,
we need you to hang around for a second.
but hang around.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, I'll try and be brief with my report and give the regular update here and start with the financials, of course, and kind of where things stand. So, of course, we are on the downslope with COVID, right? And that has been, what we've, of course, been immersed in for the past quarter and 6 months and year and since we've been in it. But, financially, we've really got ourselves in a pretty solid position. I think a lot of hospitals are struggling, as they always are, to have a bottom line. Our status is right now about break even. Okay, bottom line, we're about break even. But I will say we've taken a pretty strong growth perspective over the past 12 months, and that's turned out really well from a top line revenue standpoint. So when you look at sort of gross revenue for the health system and what we do, we're up about $51 million. Now, a lot of that is some of the sort of pent-up things during COVID. I think a lot of people were putting off procedures and different things that they needed. All of that is coming back, and we're seeing that in the financials. While revenue's up, I will say that costs are up as well. So COVID has really taken its toll from an expense standpoint on most hospitals. We're up over $5 million in salaries and wages. We're up over $3 million in contract labor. And from a supply standpoint, we're up over $6 million in supplies. All of those numbers compared to the prior year, at this point in the prior year. So while revenue's up great, we're seeing that costs are certainly up with that, about a break even for the hospital as we continue to look and try and invest back in our people. Over the last 6 months and year, we've taken a look at raises and incentives and COVID hardship and some of those things which we continue to do. So moving on to some of the special projects that we've got going on. Of course, Clarksdale has been, over the past couple of months, something that we've really been focused on and part of the health system and what we're doing. Last Thursday, I thought we had a really successful sort of kickoff event for, putting a stake in the ground, if you will, sort of, establishing what's happening and what's going on. I thought that was really well attended and done nicely. But a couple statistics regarding that facility. We've got 2 months worth of financials. We're wrapping up April, of course. In the first 2 months, the hospital alone has actually generated a positive earnings a little over $400,000. So from a financial perspective, we feel pretty good. I also will say that, one of the goals with the growth strategy has been to keep patients in the Delta, right? And realize that we can take care of ourselves. So, over the past few years, Clarksdale has averaged about 60 to 70 transfers out. Now, these were patients being transferred for specialty care and different things to Memphis or Tupelo or Oxford or somewhere like that. Since we've taken over, about half of those each month, I looked last month, about 35 of those transfers have come to Greenville. So the strategy is working, and I'm surprised that it's even working as quickly as we thought it would. Pleasantly surprised, in fact. So we're trying to keep patients in the Delta, share resources, and Hopefully you've seen a presence, whether on social media or otherwise, some of the projects, things like the mobile clinic that we have. And so this has been a really great asset for us. We're going to different communities across the Delta, whether it's Metcalf or Belzona or Shaw or Marigold or wherever we're going. The mobile clinic is really to provide that access to all of these different communities. We're starting with the vaccine, of course, and really trying to promote that and get shots in arms. The other piece of that is once we're ready, we're going to implement primary care on the mobile clinic and really try to outreach, provide that access to all those communities. Family medicine residents, we've got that program, of course, still up and running. Our partnerships across the Delta, we've got a new class of 9 residents coming on board, so that'll be 16 family medicine doctors as residents training here in the Delta, and we'll take another class of 8 after that, so 24 when we get fully up and running. The last thing is I want to mention our COVID clinic that's in the hospital through Dr. Hayek and Dr. Porkin. I think you've seen some of those. We've really sort of figured out the COVID treatment and what we're doing through monoclonal antibodies and their different protocols that they've got in place. They feel really good about the results. They're actually publishing some studies in some medical journals to get statewide and pretty soon here some national recognition for the treatment we're providing here. So that's something I'm really proud of. At some point, I would love the medical experts to come back to this group and really talk about a lot in more detail what that is. And then overall, I think for the hospital and the health system, sort of we've seen a pretty decent uptick in some of the morale with our growth prospects and the strategy that we're undertaking. I've seen a lot of individuals with the organization express a desire to grow their career and look at different options. And so as we look at more communities and take on some things, we're really seeing people reach out and say, hey, can I help, or what can I do to be a part of the system? You know, you've got more options the more you grow, and we're really seeing some of that play out. So certainly happy to answer any questions, and I will stick around.
You know, we've been talking about opening the county back up and stuff, and just curious on the COVID cases, what are y'all seeing daily, or do y'all have anybody in the hospital that at this point with COVID?
Yeah, it's really rare now that we see anybody that gets admitted anymore. Obviously, it's still out there, and you're seeing some infections, but with the vaccine, we're really seeing numbers die off. At the height of COVID, we maybe had 40 patients in the hospital. This was back a year ago. Now, we may have 1, we may have 2 at the most. I think over the past couple months, 4 in the hospital have been the most. So really, we feel like we've got it under control. We're opening, of course, responsibly. We've relaxed some of the visitor policies and things a little bit. But still, it's not gone by any means, but it's nothing like it was.
Yeah. Do you think we could perhaps use that Arcola facility for shots, to give shots, and in that way work it in the field, so to speak?
Yep.
Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Good.
We'll try and get the word out. I know we've got a clinic dedicated here in Greenville that you can call and sign up for the shot.
Yeah.
I don't want to misspeak here. I thought we were going to do that in Arcola. I'll make sure if we don't, you just remind me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
I'd like to see us be able to do more there than we are doing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
I do have a concern. Okay, so specialties, what specialties do we not have here, for the people in this area, and what are we doing to bring specialty doctors here?
Yep. Physician recruitment is one of the main challenges that we face, and we will always face here. So I'll answer your question kind of in this specialists we don't have, some of the bread and butter things, the fundamentals that you do in a hospital, we've of course got that taken care of, whether that's a gastroenterologist, some of the surgeons and different things. What we really need to focus on are things like a neurologist, which there's not one of, some more ENT services and those things. Endocrinology is another one that I think we really need here, given some of the disease and things we have in our community. So I need to check and see how much resources we put to physician recruitment a year. But I know it's six figures, and I know it's probably close to $500,000 that we're promoting for that. Hopefully, by growing the system, what you'll see is a lot of times specialists, they want to look and see, okay, is the business in the community? Well, now we have the opportunity to say, not only can you draw business from Greenville, but the surrounding communities like Clarksville as well, and some of these different areas as we grow. So it's really a big multifaceted approach to that, and it is one of the most important things we can do is get the specialists here. That's a spot on question.
And I hope that with the growth of mental health systems,
see if it's the same. I thought it was, it could have been. That's fine, that's fine.
Good evening. Good afternoon. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Doris Turner, Delta Health Center, out of Albany. We're the organization that you all are partnering with to renovate the Leland Medical Facility. And so we were just here today because we just wanted to, first of all, thank Mr. Davis, Dunn Davis and that team for all of the help that they've been giving us in getting the building ready. We're looking to open and begin serving the citizens
To remove what?
the statute, and that requires a court procedure.
I thought we, then so moved.
Point of information,
Yes.
point of information,
All right, can I get a second first?
point of information.
I need a second before I open it. I got a motion and a second, Ms. Brooks.
Okay, so we're going to, you said we're gonna file something in court,
Right, you have to challenge the validity of the statute.
but then we vote, then we amend our votes some months ago. We voted to do this.
Declare surplus. Ms. Brooks, you good? You good?
We declared a surplus, and what is it we say we did? What order?
First we said, I thought we said, we can use county reserves to remove it.
You did.
You walked back in and said, hold up, let me make sure how we clear. And that basically put a hold on everything, we'll make sure everybody clear and understand where we're going. Mr. Griffin wants to do a court procedure to make sure that we exhaust all possible challenges to the removal. And that's where we are today with this motion and this second.
All my only concern is, I just saw, what county is that? And I tried to send it to you by Facebook. The county where Mr. Brooks, seasoned supervisor, they have removed it and they did not go to court on it.
Everybody,
What motion was for to remove the statute?
Through court,
Yeah.
go through court
Yeah.
proceedings.
Yeah.
we're gonna, this motion is to go ahead and take next step in court procedures to make sure we're completely legal. That is a motion on the floor today.
Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Let's call for questions.
Question is called on.
You were speaking to that, and we got to hear something.
I'm sorry, Jerry. Battery's dead. I gotta have it changed. Charlize, we need to change all of them. We got a motion on the floor right now to go to a court proceeding to make sure we're perfectly legal to remove the statute. If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is a 4-1. Gordon, what's the nay? All right. Ms. Collins, we'll keep you posted.
Thing is, maybe you all ought to discuss allowing someone to buy Warfield Point Park and get that off your plate. I think that it would best serve this community as being in the tourism business. I hear a lot of information, and I've seen a lot of negative, views on Warfield Point Park. Now, Belmont's not in the business of the RV business, but I'm now beginning to have RV people who want to park in my yard. I've got two as of last night that are from Colorado, one's from, I forget, some other state. I think that it would be something to consider, and I really wish you would seriously consider selling that park to someone who has the time and knows how to take care of the park. I think our government entities, be it the board of supervisors and/or the city, needs to stay out of the real estate business. That's just my personal opinion, but I do think that would benefit, I think, the community if you all would consider that. And I might mention on another note, the Kiwanis was out a couple of weeks ago picking up trash on 82 and Bowman. So, and I would emphasize that if you do put a fine or a fee on anybody who does some construction to get rent a unit to dispose of their trash. It takes some hard decisions here, and it takes hard force to make those decisions. But if things don't change around here, we're doing the same thing and expect different results. But unless you are willing to make some hard choices like this, we're going to continue to look like the family that we are right now.
Thank you.
Mayor, point well taken. On some of it.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you. Marilyn, what's next?
Lionel Hines, to discuss the use of the expo building for 4-H.
Lyman? Mr. Hines wants to use the expo building for a 4-H activity. When, Mr. Hines? Mr. When?
Okay, for the horse club, the horse club that we have here in the county, they're requesting use of the, I guess, inside and
You
for
talk,
our kids to participate. So
You-
on behalf of the, Washington County Creek and Drive 4-H Club, I'm asked to ask you for the use of it without cost.
So moved, second.
we got a motion and a second, so you said it's the 16th, 23rd, and what?
And it's 6th of June.
And the 6th of June, another Sunday. It's only on Sunday. Sunday, what time frame?
They didn't say what time, they didn't, tell me to ask you for a particular time.
Okay.
And I was, told by Don to give it to Victoria to, make sure that this kid is given to her.
All right, I've got,
Mr. Gordon, can you amend your motion for them to also be out-state guidelines coming with COVID?
all right, the motion is to adhere to all guidelines when it comes to COVID safety. If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And thank y'all very much this morning. Since we're at the convention center on the 16th, Tougaloo College, asked to utilize some part outside, like in the area where they had the drive-through, that they wanted to pass some, they got some several students that need to give some certificates or programs to.
All right.
It's on the outside, and I think they were going to use the school, but the school is having their,
Commencement.
not having their commission, so they want to come over and utilize that space.
All right, Don, that's on the 16th as well. That's on the 16th, that's on the 16th as well, that you'll have Tougaloo College on the convention center grounds, providing that the board approves it. So they'll need to contact Mr. Davis or Ms. Victoria. What's the pleasure of the board?
So moved.
Point information, also guidelines and COVID.
Yes, ma'am. Also with the guidelines for COVID on the motion, make your, that-
I don't think it's that many schools.
yeah. All right. That's the motion, Mr. Redmond. I need a second. I need a second.
Second.
I got a second, Ms. Brooks. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. What else we got?
Hollandale School District.
They here? There he is. Hollandale School District.
How y'all doing this morning? How are you? All right, glad to be back. You guys have seen me for a while, but I want to kind of give you an update on what we're doing now, and also ask for the same request over in a different format. Right now, we do have our kids back in the building. At the elevator room, we're about 75%, in person and about 25% online. At the high school, the numbers are a little bit different, about 25% in school. A lot of kids are still deciding to remain online. And so at that point, we're seeing a lot of growth in our kids at elementary school who are back in school. We've done several barrier tests and assessments, and our kids are actually moving. So at this point, I do say the in-person learning is a lot better than online. We just haven't had the attendance and things that we need online, and the parents can't support the kids, and so having them back in person has been a big deal. Now, the good thing about Hollandale School District, we did not get a chance to use the building because we went out and we did virtual. We haven't had a real outbreak in Hollandale since start of COVID. And so that's a blessing there. And so now, we're gonna have new guidelines in place, but we also be prepared to do social distancing. We've had and that's why I'm here this morning to talk about the use of Washington County complex, multiplex. You all did approve me to use it one time before to have classes in there. Right now, I'm asking that you all allow me to use the back part because we had some issues going on with one of our buildings. And we want to look at trying to do some floors, get some floors down in there, get some lights updated and everything so we can have students over there do social distance, exercise activities, things of that nature in the back part of the building.
This year, is it starting soon, or is
Yeah,
this?
starting this year. Right now, we're ready to do investments and put things in there, but we don't want to put investment in the building. We know that you all have interest in it, and without your permission, without you guiding the process. But we'd like to do that and add a floor and put some other things in there, in the back part.
So y'all need to use that.
Yeah.
Make a motion. Yeah.
They have to have approval with the name and place together. They have to be sued.
The motion was to give him the paperwork to take to his bank, that's the motion we made.
Once we see the scope of the project, we'll give them the agreement.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
this is
it's-
not an agreement, this is just moving forward to see what.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta understand what you're approving.
Right.
Yeah,
Then
so,
you'll agree on allowed use.
so here's the question I have. Because we have funding hinging on this project based on your decision, how much they give us is going to determine the scope that we provide, right? So all I'm asking here today is, can we have approval to use it, and we won't move forward with anything until we get approved by you all.
Yeah.
So that I can go and secure finance.
So moved.
That's what I was gonna say, you just need to use the building right now, do
Yeah.
nothing other than just use it.
I
Yeah.
just need to use it, I need to get approval to use it, so the bank would go ahead and give me the funding.
I think that needs to be two separate, motions then, I think the motion to just use it right now and moving forward,
Yeah,
I think that needs to be two different motions.
The motion was made for this, so we're on second for them to use it.
All right, I got a motion and a second for use only.
Mr. Redmond made a motion for use of last.
No, he made a motion to give them the paperwork to take to the bank. Now we made a motion for them to use it.
I made a motion for them to use it, but I ain't know nothing about no paperwork.
Right, he made a motion for use of last time. They already got authority to use it. Okay,
But we need a resolution to get to that.
okay.
That's your motion, right?
Yeah, you need
Put
to.
a resolution.
Yeah, I need that so I can take to the bank. And then when I get that and I get the funding, I'll bring the scope of work with the funding we're gonna receive to show you what we're gonna do.
This resolution was already been approved.
That's right.
This resolution was what's already been approved. Use of the property. It's already been approved. Mr. Rubin, we get that done today?
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get it signed and we'll get it down there.
I would rather resolution for use of that.
We didn't have a resolution.
Well, if it's approved, we just like I said, give us a resolution. Anything else?
Oh, no, that's it. If I get the resolution, I can go ahead and move forward with the
We
finance.
need, if we says a resolution, we need to approve resolution, because we just had another situation with another incident, so we need to keep it clear. But, you said agreement is a resolution. Did you just not say that?
I don't like that. I don't.
Okay, well then we need to,
We need what you like to see happen.
well, let's be clear.
Resolution for use.
There's a so moved, a resolution for
So
use.
wait a minute, you're gonna get a resolution from the board,
Authorizing uses. So you said.
okay, and we've already, there was already a motion made to use it, so,
We've already had a vote.
the last board meeting.
We've already voted.
Right.
But you need a resolution, because I learned in this last board meeting, it's different between an agreement and a resolution. On another incident.
All right, I got a motion and a second to adopt the resolution with the effective usage, right?
Who made the motion?
Brooks, second reading.
Okay.
We just beat it.
All in favor, show of sign.
Aye.
That's unanimous, 100%. Anything else?
No, thank you. I'll get that information back to you. As soon as I get the finance, I'll bring it back over. Hopefully it'll be done in the next 2 weeks.
Good enough.
Thank you.
What's next?
Executive session.
Okay, we down to executive session right now. And, first one up, what we'll do is go ahead and take Mr. Kessler and we'll hold Scott for a hot second. If that's all right with the board. Those are contract negotiations, I believe, and, possible litigation. Potential litigation. All right. All in favor of going into, closed session now, and take executive session, should I sign? Aye. All in favor, should I sign? Aye. Any nays? All right, now we in closed session. Yeah, we're in closed session now. We won't be long, guys. And, everybody has to go. Don, you gotta go too. Make sure my mic is on. Yeah, she said turn it off. Session. Yeah.
Make a motion to, on the tower for
Flooring and DHS.
flooring DHS that we, what do we need to, how do we?
Rescind that.
Rescind the,
Then we made a motion coming to open session.
No, it's beyond 10 days. You cancel the
cancel.
contract with Purnell and authorize re-advertising.
That's the motion? I need a second.
Uh,
Proper,
Well, let me finish it. Authorize re-advertising up on receipt of, plans and specifications from the engineer. Yeah.
all right, everybody understand? This will, the new specification will
We do it all in
involve
one.
engineering services. I've got a motion and a second. If there are no more questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, the restructure this debt. Ms. Carter, what the motion need to be on Sportsplex and
To move
HVAC
forward
system.
with the restructure of the Sportsplex and HVAC bonds, and to allow the board president's signature on the independent registered municipal advisor representation letter and letter binding Washington County by contract, and also a disclosure and engagement letter contingent upon the attorney's review.
Okay, that authorized Chancellor Clerk, because I didn't think part of the close.
Okay, I just looked at the paperwork and it's in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Let
Everybody understand?
me see the
I need a motion.
engagement letter.
To that effect?
Yeah, that's what I said, all of it is contingent upon the review from the attorney.
So made the motion.
So moved.
I got a motion from Benson and a second from Gordon. He had already made the motion.
Okay,
Benson made the motion, Gordon second.
I got you.
All right, if there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries, that's unanimous. What else we got before we go to Ms. Carter? That's it? Griff, you good?
Well, on the, MOU, that David left this morning, I do think, I looked at the MOU, and one of the things it seemed to include most of the convention center, and I think it needs to be, that the space, it needs to be more clearly defined in there,
You're right.
okay?
Everybody understand what he's talking about? MOU is with, DHS having access to the convention center, and we need clarification on space that
Right.
we want to utilize.
Yeah.
Department of Health, they want to come from the outside drive-through vaccinations to indoors, and they want to have a larger facility. They're requesting use of the,
The language in the MOU is general in scope, so I think we need to be more specific. And I know there's talk about the court and how they're gonna get in from the rear. And we need to make certain that it's handicap accessible back there and everything.
I have a question, so it's every day or certain days?
They said, from Monday through Saturday, from 8 to 6.
And this is for a 12-month period.
Yeah.
excuse me, that means you won't be able to rent the space even if they don't use it the Tuesdays and Thursdays. You still have access for the week,
For how many months?
12.
Okay, you know, we already told Mavis that they could use the convention center.
We told, we didn't cancel, we didn't sign no contract agreements for everybody to explain.
No, we approved in the minutes.
Let's be very close. We also told them we're not signing any
Sir? I don't know what the request is. Yes, sir. Yeah, it is it. Hold on.
So when is this supposed to go into effect?
Whenever you approve, you ain't approved it yet, they did, I don't know. We'll let them know. But y'all need to get it, review it, and make phone calls, let's talk. And, I'll give David Burke, let him know we're reviewing.
Thank you. I think.
It says a period of 1 year.
But we gotta know exactly what space they want, what we can afford to do.
I'll tell you what the space.
Go ahead, miss.
Yeah, what we will do, Ms. Brooks, if they run into September, we'll actually demand that they close during certain days. And not have access.
Go ahead, Miss Hanson, read it. Would you read
No,
it?
she gonna send it.
No, we all gonna get it and read it.
Yeah,
and then go back to
So
the back.
all it says is allow you to use up the convention.
I know, that's too wrong. All right, I gotta go to this conference.
Can I say this too? It says, the premises are available for the use Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the month of May and June, and other days agreed to by each party. So,
We got flexibility.
so you got flexibility, what I want to say.
Yeah. But everybody needs to read, you understand?
And I'll make sure everybody.
Are they renting out the 10 or we renting out the 10?
Oh, that's not, we don't.
No, I'm just saying, but they're renting out the 10.
That's
So they trying to cut their costs. That's what's going on.
Now, keep in mind, we've got a backspace with a Red Cross and all, they have it so jumped up, we can't even clean it out.
Okay.
So it'd be good for you to do some transition to some of that stuff.
I'll make sure everybody get a copy.
Please. All right, we're gonna go to this card for a report, y'all. Man, we've gone to 2 o'clock.
I knew we were gonna do this.
We got to take care of business.
Yeah.
Okay. We have expended 57.4% of our budget through May 3rd compared to a plan of 66.66%. Our receipts deposited April 17th through May 3rd total $1,548,893.75. I am requesting board approval of our claims docket totaling $706,987.68.
So moved.
And I got a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's 4. Supervisor Gordon,
I also have, Ms. Laurice Moore's report, and it's just 15, notices for overgrown lots and cleaning of property, and she has a court hearing for Washington County Justice Court for Mr. Walter Ray Senior, 1088 by Road, fined $453.75 in order to clean his property.
I have a concern on that list. If we have someone on that list, and they didn't clean the property. They told us they're gonna clean the property, and they're back on the list again for the same property. How do we normally address those issues?
We moved the process forward in which, with a certain amount of notification, it allows the county to go in and actually clean up themselves and assess.
Okay, because I do see a property, I'm not gonna call the person's name, but I see a property that was on here for, some months ago, and they came before the board. And they, said they was gonna clean it up, and they didn't clean it up, and my only concern is that, you know, once we do, we should constantly just put their name, and if they hadn't done the time frame, we just go and do what we're supposed to do.
We do. Once you've done what's required by law, we continue.
I mean, if they tell us they gonna clean it up, they don't clean it up, we need to still move forward, not start the process all over again.
We have a couple of them that we actually had hearings on last year, and they said they needed a certain time, we gave them like 90 days, and they have not shown any significant progress, so they back in it, we didn't come back before the board, we just continued to move on. We never removed them from the list. You remove them from the list, then you got to go back to the process.
Well, you're right, we should never remove nobody from the list.
Well, the statute says that you can retain the jurisdiction now over the property for 2 years, okay? All right, in other words, at any time during that 2 years, you give them an opportunity, they fail to clean it up, you can notify them, you're gonna clean it up.
Yes, that is correct, because Leland used that all the time.
All right.
If you don't clean, they cut and they fine.
You good?
Yes. But we need to make sure that we don't get nobody that's on this list that's start the process with.
The only thing I,
She don't want to add somebody to the list, you've already started the process, in other words, she don't want to start them over, keep them in the process.
Because I see a name, we started over, he's back on this list again. I mean, that person's back on
You
the
need
list.
to straighten that one out.
We need to find out from Ms. Moore if she's sending information over to the tax collector's office for those, those things.
Once we do the cleaning here, we'll find out. Right now, she's worried about this person that slipped through the cracks and is back on the list, so they can
Yeah,
get
but
additional
we've
time.
done some cleaning beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are the ones that
but
I've
keep in
done.
mind, we haven't done it since COVID.
Okay.
She's been in and out, we've kind of been off and not gotten.
And we probably did this probably about 6 months ago. Or longer, I can't remember. But I remember a name that's on it is back on the list. And it's just not about the person, it's about making sure we move forward and it's not, just doing it all over again.
Yeah. All right.
Being redundant.
Ms. Carter.
okay, from the sheriff's office, the sheriff's office is requesting to apply for the triad grant funding for this year.
Required.
So move, triad.
Second.
I got a motion to try for the triad grant. Is there an amount, Ms. Carter?
No.
$1 million.
There's no amount. I got a motion and a second. There are no other questions. All in favor, show by sign. Aye. Any opposed? That's 4-0. Supervisor Board, now.
Sheriff Department is also requesting to apply for the Shop with a Cop grant funding through Walmart.
I got a motion. So moved. And a second. The Reverend second, Benson motion. There are no other questions. All in favor of the shop with a cop grant from Walmart, show by sign. Aye.
I saw
Any
you go
opposed?
shopping.
Motion carries. That's 4-0. Supervisor Board, now.
Also, permission to apply for Bulletproof Partnership grant funding request to purchase 15 vests over the life of the grant due to high turnover rates and vest life expiration. With this funding, we may be responsible for 50% of the vest cost. And that's from the Sheriff's Department as well.
Ain't no money out there for that.
I got a motion. Supervisor, and a
Ain't
second.
there some money out there for that?
Say that again.
Ain't there some more money out there to pay at 100%?
That's 50%.
Cause I mean, I got all this money, Homeland Security.
Isn't that 50% off the card?
It is.
Everybody understand?
Yeah.
And there's up 50% in their budget.
You want money?
Yeah.
All right, if there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's 4-0. Supervisor Board, now.
I'm done.
cutting off.
You ran out of juice?
Yeah.
And the next thing, when we were down checking the flow at the mother place where we took the carpet out, I don't know, look like to me, I'm gonna have to go with some paint, cause I ain't paying no $200,000. I think we can paint the floor for $100.
Have you ever thought about, what you call it?
How much?
I know we come down, I think, did they, Ms. Carter, did they, what did they do? When they took the carpet up and where are we as far as doing the floor?
Ceramic.
No. Have you ever thought about what you call it?
Well, they gonna have to go do a meeting or whatever.
Not
Laminate.
painting, but other things.
Staining.
Staining the
I
floor.
said it too.
I think staining would be ideal.
That was my first option.
All right, you good?
We looked at it.
All right. Let me ask you all this. Let me run this back. We're gonna wrap up real quick. We've been talking about a safety manager, safety director for a while. We still haven't filled that slot. We need to go ahead and do something. Why not today? We've been,
I mean, how many applications did we apply?
no, well, I've got a person I want to recommend for the job. It's already a county employee. We're in open session.
We might have the same person.
You can make, you have to make your recommendation.
In open session.
But if you want to discuss it, you have to go to executive session.
Okay.
We ain't been going nowhere.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Mr. Horace Reed that works in the road department.
Who?
Mr. Horace Reed. Same person I talked about back in January. We need to go ahead and do something with that position.
Now, it's another lady reached out to me about the lady that works for EMS.
Second generation.
Tammy Reed, she reached out to me about it as well.
Yeah.
And what I like about Tammy, she's very, very knowledgeable of all the,
No. We developed a,
I don't even know who Horace is. Does Horace work for the county already?
yes,
Yes, he got it.
yes. Make a note. Okay. All right. Yes. We've been talking about this. We have a job description. Everybody's had an opportunity to review. I just need to go ahead and move forward.
What kind of salary we talking about?
We put a maximum of 50,000 in the budget.
So how much we gonna start from?
We have to see where he is right now.
You gonna advertise?
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Well, you gotta put something out.
I'm ready to move
We're not gonna do
forward,
it.
but I need to have a nice number.
We're not gonna do it.
Carl.
Hmm?
Why not? You pay them.
We're not gonna do it. Huh?
Pay that kind of salary.
Wait, Tim, I agree, let's go advertise and do it right.
Let me do this, man. God. This is the 5th month.
Yeah, but.
No.
You gonna have to have.
No, you don't.
We are.
No, you don't. What we normally do is we'll look at a minimum of 20% from an adjustment, and it should fall within that 50 from where he currently is.
God, you better, I think they can hear you, I can't, you're over the phone, and, I can hear, this ain't no good.
All right.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to go ahead and fill the safety manager position.
I told her, I think we need to go and get some, candidates, because I ain't
We
here.
advertise, I think the motion we gonna advertise.
You got one, and I think we need to advertise, so.
I got a motion to advertise.
All right, what kind of salary you gonna advertise?